Hey, my name is Connor Ward, and I am currently a grade 11 student at Oak Bay High School. I'm making this recording for an English project based on the ambition of the characters in William Shakespeare's play, Macbeth. Before getting into the topic of ambition, I will talk about the history of William Shakespeare and provide some main points about Macbeth. Macbeth is a world-renowned play and has been reenacted many times in many different theaters all over the globe. I hope you enjoy. Shakespeare is one of the most well-known poets of his time, and still to this date. His poems and plays have been translated into 80 different languages, and he helped shape the English language we now use today, introducing up to 300 words to the English language. Historians do not know his official date of birth, but they do know he was born in 1564 in England. He was married and had 3 kids, and in 1599, at the height of his fame, he built the theater, the Globe. In 1616, Shakespeare passed away, but he was never forgotten. He ended up writing a total of 37 plays and 154 sonnets, many of which we still enjoy today, such as Macbeth. Macbeth is a story of contradiction and ambition. Based in 11th century Scotland, Macbeth is driven by his will to become the King of Scotland. He will kill anyone who gets in his way of his power, no matter who it is or the cost. After fighting a battle against the Norwegians, Macbeth and his close friend Banquo come across 3 witches. They tell him he will become Thane of Cawdor, and it becomes true. His wife, Lady Macbeth, pushes him into becoming King of Scotland. Lady Macbeth uses her lust for power to turn Macbeth into a heartless savage. In this case, ambition has wicked and deadly consequences. Thinking about ambition as it relates to the story, there are a number of passages. One in particular that stands out for me is Act 1, scenes 5 to 7. In this act, Lady Macbeth persuades Macbeth into killing Duncan, the King of Scotland. In the beginning of this act, Macbeth is coming back from battle. As he journeys back to the castle, Lady Macbeth receives a letter which tells her the good news that Macbeth is the new Thane of Cawdor. Finding this out before he does, and knowing this means he is in the line of the throne to Scotland, she is ambitious to make her husband the king as soon as possible. And despite the current king, Duncan, Lady Macbeth will stop at nothing, but she worries that Macbeth is too kind to overthrow the king, saying that Macbeth is full of thy milk of human kindness. When Macbeth arrives at the castle, she uses her ambition to convince him into overthrowing the king for his own good. She tells Macbeth of her master plan to drug the king's guards with wine to gain access to murder the king in his sleep. At this point, Macbeth is ambitious to become the king, but not at the cost of killing King Duncan. As a result, he is hesitant about Lady Macbeth's plan. Lady Macbeth's ambition causes her to manipulate Macbeth to agree to her plan. In the end, it is the combination of both their ambitions that result in Macbeth believing Lady Macbeth's plan is the best choice. This act concludes with Lady Macbeth and Macbeth carrying out the plan of drugging the guards and killing King Duncan. It is at this point that Macbeth still doesn't really want to kill the king, but is hallucinating and seeing a dagger pointing to the king's chamber. Ambition is a human trait that can be different for each person and influenced by others. It can also be positive or negative depending on the situation. In this passage, I talked about Lady Macbeth and Macbeth both have similar ambition for Macbeth to become king. However, it is Lady Macbeth's ambition that heavily influences Macbeth's. This particular ambition results in the king's death. Although this play was written in the 1600s, ambition remains a trait that people still have in today's society.